Hello, I'm Mark Ells, Barnstable Town Manager, and this is my Town Manager's communication for the period of July 15th through August 19th. Well, we're into budget planning season, and I'll be issuing my budget instructions by mid-September so we can begin the preparation of our capital and operating budgets. We'll also be reporting out shortly on the closeout of FY 2025 and looking forward to some of our revenue projections, and are we meeting them? As our beach staff continues to leave for college and back to school, we must reduce locations with staff to maintain their safety and the safety of our visitors. Staff has reviewed the end of the season staffing schedules and it's resulted in the following. There'll be no guards at Colville's Beach starting Thursday, August 21st. No guards at Douse's Beach starting Sunday, August 24th. Craigville Beach will maintain lifeguards, but we'll keep you updated as we move toward the end of the season. Additionally, we'll no longer have gate attendants starting on Monday, August 25th at Loop, Joshua's, Wequacket Lake and Hamlin Pond, and then at Millway on August 26th. On July 16, 2025, I sent a letter to the Massachusetts Commissioner of Public Health requesting that the Mass Department of Public Health take additional proactive steps to address the growing public health concern regarding PFAS. As a result of that, and I reported out in my last communication to you on this and provided the letter. As a result of that, Senator Sear responded, offering to reach out to the Department of Public Health and suggested that we forward the letter to the Division of Insurance, Mass Health, and they've actually already responded to us that they've taken it under review. He also reminded me that he's filed the Mass PFAS Act again this session. I gave you a link in my communication to it. So I've had a lot of back and forth with Senator Sear on this. I know his office has also spoken to a resident group in Hyannis relevant to it. I hope this progresses. We'll stay on top of it and we'll keep you informed as more information comes in relevant to our request. On Friday, August 8th, the Cape Cod and Islands Water Protection Fund Executive Committee met to discuss the wastewater and water quality project costs obtained from the Cape Cod and Islands Water Protection Fund member communities, including projected annual costs for calendar years 2026 through 30. Executive Committee members discussed appropriate assumptions for projected project costs to be included in the fund's financial model. This information will be shared with the Mass Department of Environmental Protection for future planning for financial support through the state revolving fund for eligible projects. As previously discussed in my communications, the state revolving fund has financial constraints that could impact future funding of wastewater and water supply projects. Barnstable's certainly been in direct communication with the Department of Environmental Protection, but we also felt as a trust that we needed to communicate broadly for the projects that were coming from Cape Cod to the Mass DEP SRF program so that they could better plan in anticipation of these financial constraints. So more to come. We also received an update on communications regarding a pathway for innovative alternative septic system financing and the potential for the Cape and Islands Wastewater Trust Fund to provide subsidies to member communities for AI projects. This is in its early stages of discussion, but certainly we recognize that both more traditional wastewater technology as well as IA septic systems are going to play an important role in addressing nutrient reduction on Cape Cod. And so we are actively looking at how we might be able to help those communities and those residents on Cape Cod with the IA side of this solution. And we'll keep you informed as these matters advance through discussion. On February 20th of this year, I sent an email on behalf of the town of Barnstable and its residents to Secretary Rebecca Tepper of the Executive Office of Environmental Affairs with a copy to Director Green from the Energy Facility Siting Board to express concerns and also to reflect the public interest on electromagnetic radiation and the process of taking regular readings for cable landings, such as the one at Colville's Beach in Centerville, so that we could have a better understanding of how did the modeling that was used in the permitting of these projects by the state correlate with what are we actually seeing in the field. And just so you know, town of Barnstable has done these before each beach season. It is correlating so far, but we're also concerned that, number one, we have to do it, and number two, that the regulating agencies aren't requiring as part of the permitting process for the proponent of these projects to do it. And so in that correspondence, I inquired regarding the possibility of whether the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs could implement a routine monitoring protocol so that the public and the town could understand what is or what is not going on, specifically in this case at Colville's Beach. The town hoped that the review by the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs would allow for a response to our concerned residents, which we believe would be in everybody's interest for assuring safe use and enjoyment of our recreational facilities. I still haven't received a response to this, so I sent another letter last week. And I'll continue to communicate directly with both our state agencies, and I broadened it to include our governor, lieutenant governor, and copied our legislative delegation. We'll continue to keep you advised as this progresses. That concludes my update. The Assistant Town Manager, Andy Clyburn, will provide an update on the Quality of Life Working Group. Kate Maldonado from our Planning Department will provide an update on downtown Hyannis Green Streets and the Open Space and Recreation Plan. And Kelly Colopy from the Department of Public Works will provide an update on water resources, including our comprehensive wastewater management plan. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Assistant Town Manager Andy Clyburn, here to give another update on the Quality of Life Work Group established to look at enforcement efforts across all town departments. We've been meeting twice a month to put forward several updates to rules, regulations, ordinances, fee structures, and technology to better support our residents. 3 items are on the August Town Council agenda for referrals to public hearings. Those 3 are a draft home occupation and commercial vehicle ordinances, as well as a proposed revision to zoning violation fines. The 2 draft ordinances, home occupation and commercial vehicle, are to be referred by the Town Council to the Planning Board for a public hearing. If referred at the August meeting, the Planning Board shall hold a public hearing on these 2 items on September 22nd. The hearing will be open to the public, and the board shall provide time for comment. The revision to the zoning fines is on the August Town Council agenda as a first read and referral to a public hearing on September 4th. The hearing will be open to the public, and the council shall provide time for comment. Concurrently, the Inspectional Services Department is proposing the establishment of a home occupation licensing program with ID card and annual renewal that includes a suspension and revocation hearing process. Organizational changes to the department, including proposed changes to the town code, long overdue fee schedule adjustments, and public hearings to support the necessary resources. We anticipate bringing this forward in September. Our hope is that by moving the ordinances and the licensing program concurrently, both will reach Town Council at the same time later this fall, thereby allowing Town Council to approve enforcement resources at the same meeting that they consider adopting the new ordinances. That concludes my update for this month. Thank you.
Hello, Kate Maldonado, Senior Planner, Planning and Development. The town of Barnstable is excited to announce and present 75% construction drawings for the Hyannis Main Street Great Streets Transportation Network and Streetscape Project. A community meeting will be held Wednesday, August 27th at 6:30 p.m. in person at the Barnstable Town Hall, address 367 Main Street, Hyannis, within the hearing room located on the second floor. Live interpretation will be available in Portuguese and Spanish. Attendees will have the opportunity to review the design plans with representatives from DPW and Planning and Development, learn more about upcoming improvements, and ask questions. To learn more about this project, please visit the project website, accessible from the town's website, Planning and Development Department webpage, listed under current projects as the Great Streets Downtown Hyannis, or click the link defined within this report. The town of Barnstable is currently updating its open space and recreation plan. An open space and recreation plan is a tool through which a community plans for the future of its conservation and recreation resources. A community meeting will be held Thursday, August 28th at 6 p.m. in person at Barnstable Town Hall, address 367 Main Street, Hyannis, within the hearing room located on the second floor. Live interpretation will be available in Spanish and Portuguese. The objective of the meeting is to obtain insight for issues and opportunities related to the town's open space and recreation resources. To learn more about this project, please visit the project website, accessible from the town's website, under the Planning and Development Department webpage, listed under current projects as Open Space and Recreation Plan Update, or click the link to find in this report.
Good afternoon, Kelly Colby from the Department of Public Works, and I will be providing our Water Resources Management Update. First, we will take a look at sewer connection compliance as part of our Comprehensive Wastewater Management Plan. Per our last report, we have now progressed to 60% completion for all available sewer connections as part of our recently completed CWMP sewer expansion projects. So out of the 324 parcels that are currently eligible to connect to the municipal sewer system, we have 194, bringing us up to 60% compliance. As a reminder, the Strawberry Hill Road and Route 28 East sewer expansion projects were completed on time and on budget, and sewer connections have become available in rounds. Compliance is managed by the Barnstable Health Division and Board of Health, and each connection round has a 6-month connection timeline associated with it. Shifting over to our active and in design sewer expansion projects as part of phase 1. Currently, we have one project under active construction. That would be our Centerville Village North phase. As you may recall, work has been paused for the summer season, but we do anticipate that the contractor will remobilize following the Labor Day holiday. As a reminder, most of the work historically has been contained to Chute Flying Hill Road, including the closure of Chute Flying Hill Road. But this project does also include sewer construction within the vicinity of Mothers Park, as well as a small portion of construction on Route 28. We do anticipate that the Route 28 work will occur this fall and is anticipated to occur overnight. We are currently in the process of working through our construction outreach and preparing folks for the active construction season to resume. So as more information comes from the contractor's construction schedule, we will work through all of our traditional town communication channels to make sure everyone is prepared for construction in the roadway. Additionally, the Route 28 West project is working its way through contracting. We do anticipate that this construction project will break ground this fall as well, later this fall. The construction contract has been awarded to Robert B. Auer, and we are currently coordinating our pre-construction meeting with the contractor. With that said, in parallel, we are working through our property owner communication process, which includes the certified mail project notification. With that, we will be also hosting our construction kickoff public meeting. Right now, we are anticipating that meeting will likely occur late September, early October, so more to come. And then nothing significant to report in terms of projects in design. We continue to make advancements on both the Centerville Village South Phase as well as the Finney's Lane Neighborhoods sewer expansion projects, both working their way through 90% and 75% design respectively. And then additionally working through our survey and preliminary design efforts for a number of projects seen in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Shifting over to the 268 Stevens Street pump station. As a reminder, this pump station is a grant-funded project made possible through a notice of project change filed with MEPA in July of 2024. This project's construction is currently on hold while the permitting of the contractor's dewatering plan is completed. Next, we'll take a look at the water pollution control facility. We continue to make progress through the procurement process for our nitrogen removal and headworks improvement project. We are gearing up for some really significant upgrades to take place at our wastewater treatment plant. Bid submission deadline for the general contractor for that project has been extended to early September, specifically September 4th. However, in the meantime, sub-bids have been received and are currently under review. We do anticipate that we will finish the contracting and award process for this project throughout the early fall and look to break ground following. Effluent disposal evaluation is ongoing. We continue our regular meetings with Mass DEP as our disposal alternatives analysis continues. And then, as you may recall, we did have sewer construction on Bierce's Way in collaboration with the Mass DOT Bierce's Way Shared Use Path project. We do anticipate that the contractor will remobilize and complete remaining in-road sewer work this fall following the Labor Day holiday. So similar to our Centerville Village North Phase, we are preparing construction season notifications and communications, and you can expect to see more information on the construction schedule forthcoming. Now, there is a lot more going on in town related to water resources outside of our comprehensive wastewater management plan, including 2 projects with our water supply division through the Hyannis Water System, the first being the Straightway Water Treatment Facility project. Since our last report, the supplemental appropriation for construction funds was approved by Town Council, and we will now move forward with awarding the construction contract for this project. We do still anticipate that construction for the Straightway Water Treatment Facility project will begin later this fall. Additionally, as required by Mass DEP and the EPA, Hyannis Water System has been working with its consultant to assess and create an inventory of all of our water service lines, specifically looking for any that may contain lead. A report from the phase 2 of this project and this analysis is scheduled to be presented to the Barnstable Municipal Water Board this week. And lastly, just a quick snapshot of some of the current communications and outreach happening surrounding all things water resource related in the town of Barnstable. Previously reported, we had initiated a comprehensive wastewater management plan resident survey. We are continuing to solicit feedback for this survey through a variety of different methods. We did also edit the survey to include an area where folks can provide demographic information. This really gives us a better idea of how varying age groups in our community prefer to receive information specific to water resources projects and initiatives. We've been promoting the survey in English, Spanish, and Portuguese, and as I mentioned, during in-person events, workshops, at our tabling, at the various town beaches, as well as through our digital and social channels and at local libraries. With that, we've also been working through a variety of different initiatives to help engage and better inform our youth here in Barnstable. We have initiated engagement with the Youth Commission and will continue to collaborate with the Youth Commission this fall when school is back in session. And then taking advantage of the summer season, we did partner with Recreation's Summer Leisure Program to distribute water resources related information, including links to the survey, different educational information, and swag to the 6th through 8th graders who participated in the leisure program. We're really using that as a launch point for us to get more information about how our youth want to be involved, if they want to be involved, how they want to, and how we can better inform them of a variety of different water resources related topics. Everything from the CWMP to water quality monitoring, PFAS, and more. And with that, we also launched our own Barnstable Water Resources social media. This is to complement what we are already sharing through the official town channels, and it has really just provided a space for us to do additional storytelling and community engagement, specifically focused on water quality and the long-term resource management programs and initiatives, both CWMP as well as non-CWMP projects. This specifically came through a variety of different outreach opportunities that we had taken place with, where it was really identified that especially the youth in our community are spending a lot of time actively scrolling on social media. So being able to position some of our water resources content has just proven to be really helpful for us in engaging that specific demographic. So with that, we certainly encourage you to check out the Barnstable Water Resources website, subscribe to the My Barnstable, Town of Barnstable mobile app, as well as e-news and the Barnstable Water Resources newsletter to make sure that you are staying up to date on all things water resources in the town of Barnstable. And that concludes our water resources update. Thank you.